9,000 warships entered the Sol system. Earth waited, no defense grid powered up. No challenge, no answer.
Scan for every defense installation. I want them pinned before we risk a single troop ship.
The tactical team ran scans twice, then a third time. No missile batteries, no orbital guns. Earth was undefended.
This makes no sense. No species leaves its homeworld naked unless it's a trap. Landing order: all troop ships. Deploy across all continents simultaneously. Now,
40 million soldiers descended. Troop ships filled the sky over 6 continents with landing lights. In orbit, the human platforms remained silent. Lights flickered, sensors tracked, but no weapon activated.
I can feel it. This is wrong, but we are committed.
The first troop ships touched down. Ramps dropped. The invasion of Earth had begun without a single defensive shot.
Donald gripped the railing, staring at the silent blue world, the trap he felt but could not see.
Across 6 continents, Vorthan regiments deployed in flawless formation. Forward bases mushroomed within hours, still no human countermove.
Status across all theaters. Any human military activity? Anything at all.
The reports came back the same from every continent. Human cities were ghost towns, streets empty, not a single heavy weapon tracked.
Every last troop ship is down. 40 million pieces on the board, and still my console shows no launch order from Earth Central.
General Chen stood in the silent command center, watching the holomap fill with Vorthan force markers. He gave no order.
Too smooth. If I were them, I'd have thrown every missile by now. What are they waiting for?
The first oddity came from a forward recon unit near the equatorial basin. A soldier reported the air tasted metallic, like old ozone, but constant.
Atmospheric anomaly. Noted. Probably jitters. Will monitor. Dismissed.
Donald filed the metallic taste as a minor atmospheric quirk. He had 40 million reasons to believe victory was inevitable.
Then why can't I shake this weight in my chest? This planet's silence feels personal.
That evening, Donald summoned his senior staff. The ground reports were immaculate, and that made his officers edgy.
No human activity at all? Not a single drone?
A senior colonel described an operational void. Donald cut him off before he could finish.
The metallic taste is an atmospheric quirk. Nothing more. We did not come here for the climate.
He ended the meeting early. That night, reports trickled in from 4 separate camps. Soldiers feeling nauseous. Not widespread, 1 in 50, but consistent, and each one mentioned that same metallic aftertaste. Medical logs noted environmental acclimation strain. Nobody sounded the alarm.
First day jitters. Every campaign has them. Bodies adjusting to a new world.
By midnight, unease had leaked from the camps into the command staff. Donald crushed every whisper.
I will not let groundless fears stain a flawless invasion. Tomorrow we demonstrate absolute control.
Dawn of day 2 delivered the flood. Morning reports from every continent described armor plates pitting and corroding, no weapon involved.
What do you mean? Armor failing? Spots? Corrosion? Get my science teams on this now.
In a dozen forward camps, standard-issue chest plates and gauntlets showed tiny craters spreading like acid etching. No enemy had fired.
First, the metallic air. Now the armor. This planet is doing something. I need answers.
Donald summoned Medical Chief Thren to the surface immediately. She grabbed a field kit and a team.
Collect samples of everything. Air, soil, armor scrapings, tissue from anyone with nausea. I will find this agent.
Her shuttle dropped through the dark storm front, landing near the worst outbreak. Soldiers pointed at their sagging plates, bewildered.
The corrosion is clearly biological microbes, but the speed and specificity, this is not natural degradation.
She filled vials and swabs, her mind already churning. Back in the lab, nausea cases climbed to 1 in 10, and the metallic taste had become a constant complaint.
This planet is fighting us, but is it a natural defense or something far worse?
Day 3, the corrosion turned violent. Armor plates dissolved in hours, and standard-issue pulse rifles jammed mid-cycle across 6 continents. Thren worked through the night, isolating the agents, airborne and soil-borne organisms consuming Vorthan alloys at a terrifying pace.
She stared at the cellular scan, heart thudding. Not just metal, they were breaching Vorthan cells.
The same organisms bound to Vorthan neural receptors, accelerating the nausea and disorientation now sweeping through every continent.
Supreme Commander, Earth's biosphere is destroying us at the cellular level. It's not the equipment, it's our bodies failing.
Donald stood frozen, the comm line silent except for the faint buzz of Thren's lab.
Are you telling me the planet is a biological weapon? I want every camp in full biohazard lockdown. Now!
Quarantine won't help. The organisms target Vorthan biology exclusively. They ignore everything else. I cannot explain this.
The quarantine order screamed across the fleet, but the enemy had already colonized 40 million soldiers.
He stared at the silent blue world, and the trap he'd felt from the start finally had a name.
Day 4. A wave of dizziness swept the Vorthan lines. 30% of soldiers could no longer stand.
Donald slammed the console. Status of the medical stations?
Every medical bay overflowed. Thren and her teams pumped antivenins that barely slowed the decline.
She watched a soldier's vitals flatline. The organisms evolved faster than any treatment.
Get me a withdrawal plan. Pull the infantry back to the troop ships. Nightfall, I want them off.
Moving them will rupture already failing cellular walls. The transit will kill more than staying.
The order stalled. Infantry commanders reported units collapsing faster than shuttles could land.
Donald felt the invasion slipping through his fingers. 40 million soldiers, and he could not even order retreat.
Deep in her gut, Thren knew this was no natural disease. Something had shaped it.
By sunset, 2/3 of the force was down. The invasion had become a massacre without a single enemy shot. Day 5. Thren isolated the organism's binding mechanism. The lock matched Vorthan neural receptors with horrific precision.
Not a random match. It's like a key designed for our lock. That cannot happen by evolutionary chance.
She accessed captured human databases, old environmental audits, genetic modification logs, terraforming archives. Fragments surfaced, centuries of atmospheric seeding, gravity microtuning, microbiome engineering, all under a single project codename, Quiet Reclamation.
This is not a natural planet. They shaped every layer, the air, the gravity, the microbes, all engineered to reject non-Terran life. 8 centuries. They spent 8 centuries turning their world into a weapon that would kill any invader.
The realization struck like a physical blow. The Vorthan had not invaded a garden world. They had stormed a fortress designed to digest them.
Donald must know, now, before we lose them all.
She opened an emergency channel to the flagship, her hands trembling above the console.
Supreme Commander, I have findings. The planet. It was made for this.
Thren's data flooded the command chamber. Holographic schematics of Earth's engineered biosphere, atmospheric profiles, and gravity microfluctuation logs.
The microbes are keyed to Vorthan neural receptors. The Quiet Reclamation Project tuned the atmosphere, gravity, even the electromagnetic field. Nothing here is random. This planet was shaped to kill any species without a Terran biometric signature. We walked into a purpose-built execution ground.
Donald watched the data stream, his face turning ashen. The trap he had sensed from orbit now had schematics.
800 years. They built a predator out of a world, and I walked 40 million soldiers straight into its jaws. It's a trap. The whole planet. There is no defense because the planet is the defense. We never had a chance.
He gripped the console, knuckles white. The bridge crew stood frozen, the silence deafening.
Open a channel to whatever passes for their government. Do it now. I will negotiate. I will pay whatever they demand.
The comm officer hailed the Terran Republic. The bridge held its breath, waiting.
He stared at the silent blue world on the view screen, and the name for his sinking feeling was no longer suspicion. It was certainty.
The channel crackled to life. President Lucas appeared on the view screen, seated calmly in his minimal office, the geometric storm, a silent backdrop behind him.
I am Supreme Commander Donald of the Vorthan Imperium. What have you done to my soldiers? Explain this trap.
Supreme Commander, you were never meant to land. Earth has no need for anti-air defenses because the planet is the defense.
Donald's fists clenched, but he forced his voice steady.
You engineered the biosphere to kill us. That's an act of war.
The invasion was an act of war. Earth's response is passive and ancient. Your soldiers are dying because this world has always been a fortress.
I demand immediate evacuation of my forces. What are your terms?
Evacuation will be permitted, but retrieval of non-certified biologicals comes with a fee.
Lucas's tone was that of a man discussing a shipping tariff, not the lives of 40 million soldiers.
The room tilted. He had expected demands of surrender, not an invoice, but he had no choice.
Lucas continued, his tone flat. The biosphere, gravity, EM field, all tuned over 8 centuries. The Quiet Reclamation Project.
We began modifying Earth's microbes in the 21st century. Every decade, new refinements. Any non-Terran biology is now lethal within days. There is no cure, no antidote.
I don't care. I need evacuation now. Allow my shuttles to lift without interference.
We will permit retrieval, but the Republic will charge a fee per kilogram for every non-Terran biomass removed.
The words hit like a plasma charge. Donald's jaw tightened until his secondary eyes ached.
Per kilogram. He was invoicing my entire army. The cost will shatter the Imperium.
You have 1 hour to decide. After that, the fee increases 10% per hour.
The screen flickered. Lucas returned to his paperwork, as if 40 million lives were already accounted for.
Pay or watch them die. The trap was absolute. He had no way out.
Thren's voice cut the static. 90% non-combat effective. Deaths accelerating by the hour.
Supreme Commander, we have perhaps 2 days before organ failure claims everyone. Evacuation must begin now.
2 days. But his ultimatum was 1 hour, with a 10% surcharge. The math was merciless. He reopened the channel. This is genocide, Lucas. You turned a planet into an extermination engine.
Genocide, you invaded? Earth's defense is passive and absolute. You are being killed by a world, not a weapon.
My soldiers are dying in agony. You have to end this call off your biosphere.
I cannot end what's woven into the planet's DNA. The Quiet Reclamation is permanent. Pay the fee.
Donald's vision blurred. He was staring at a 1 trillion credit ransom note written in his soldier's blood.
He was no longer a supreme commander. He was a beggar with an hourglass. He transmitted his acceptance. Send me the figure, but the Imperium will remember this day.
Lucas transmitted the document immediately. It landed on Donald's console with a soft chime, as if the universe were adding insult.
The total is 4.8 trillion credits. Itemized weight categories, atmospheric contamination, infrastructure compensation, and a processing fee.
Donald scanned the line items. Soldiers per kilogram, armor residue surcharge, even a line for biological drift contamination. The precision was surgical.
This bill was drafted with malice. They had anticipated every variable of a failed invasion. I sign under duress. The Imperium acknowledges no moral legitimacy to this extortion.
Signing is all that matters. The signature triggers the evacuation window.
Donald's finger hovered over the biometric pad. Then he pressed. The agreement sealed. Across the fleet, evacuation klaxons blared. Shuttles began lifting from the landing zones, loaded with the dying. In his office, Lucas watched the feeds. Vorthan troopships rising like exhausted insects, Earth's storm flicking them with blue light.
He had bought their lives with the Imperium's financial spine, and somehow that was victory.
On the surface, triage was simple. Weight quotas decided who lived. Stretchers were weighed, too light aboard, too heavy left.
Those in organ failure stay. Shuttles cannot carry dead weight. We save whoever has a chance.
The alien sky glowed electric blue. Shuttles rose, loaded with the lightest. The rest watched from the ground.
For every soldier lifted, 3 were left. The per-kilogram charge became a selection filter.
The storm overhead flickered with geometric light, indifferent. Earth was not gloating. It was just breathing.
Final estimate. We will lift 40% if the shuttles hold. The rest will be dead by morning.
16 million soldiers left on Earth. He had paid for every kilogram of their deaths.
A junior officer requested orders. Donald did not speak. The silence spread across the bridge.
The trap was not just physical. It was designed to break him, and it had...
Beneath the storm, Earth turned, patient and lethal. The war was over. A new chime sounded. Lucas reappeared, his voice like an auditor's. One addendum: the per kilogram fee applies to any Vorthan biological material left on Earth.
Bodies, blood, tissue residue, all billable. The drones will weigh the remains automatically.
Donald did not argue. The document updated in real time. Line items expanded. In situ biowaste, neural decay residue. The list was obscene.
They're taxing the dead. The sheer precision of cruelty was breathtaking.
The bridge screen displayed a live credit transfer, trillions draining from the Imperium's treasury every hour. In orbit, the refugee fleet took shape, a slow, limping column of damaged troop ships, command ships listing, their escape a parade of shame. The last shuttles lifted from the surface. Below, 16 million Vorthan lay still, their weight already added to the invoice.
He was not merely defeated. He had been priced, packaged, and shipped back as a receipt.
With each ship that broke orbit, the credit count dropped further, a financial heartbeat fading. Donald stood alone on the observation deck, watching Earth shrink. The war was over. The invoice was still open. The evacuation neared completion. 4.2 trillion credits had drained from the Imperium's treasury. Donald's shoulders slumped. Medical Chief Thren entered, her footsteps soft, her face lined with exhaustion. She stood a pace behind him.
The survivors will carry cellular damage for life, reduced lifespan, chronic pain, Earth's legacy in their bones.
Donald didn't turn. The words settled into him like cold sediment.
Not only dead, but broken for life. The quiet reclamation was not just a weapon, it was a curse. Did they ever intend for us to land, or was the entire invasion the bait?
Thren said nothing because no answer was needed. They both knew. Earth's silence had been a trapdoor, not a surrender. The Vorthan had walked through it with flags flying.
He had been outfought across 8 centuries. The war had been lost before his species evolved language.
He stared at the silent blue world, its geometric storm still pulsing. The invoice was still open. The lesson was just beginning. A final transmission arrived from Earth. Lucas's tone was academic, almost pedagogical.
Supreme Commander, you asked what this world is. I am sending the complete history of the Quiet Reclamation.
The data unfolded across the Vorthan command deck, a holographic timeline of 8 centuries of planetary modification.
Stage 1, microbiome recalibration. Stage 2, atmospheric seeding. Stage 3, gravitational constant microtuning, all designed around a single biometric key, Terran.
The dates flickered. Century after century of patient, invisible work. The project predated the Vorthan's first spaceflight.
800 years. They were farming the planet into a weapon while my species was still throwing spears.
Lucas's voice continued, describing failsafes, the EM field distortion that affected non-Terran neural tissue, the gravity fluctuations that caused vertigo, the cascade failure designed into the microbial attack.
There is no defense grid because the planet is the defense. Every layer from the bacteria to the ionosphere is part of one integrated kill system.
He had not just lost a battle. He had been outmaneuvered by a planetary ecosystem designed by ancestors who no longer existed.
The transmission ended. The Vorthan were allowed to keep the data, a warning etched into their archives forever. As the Vorthan fleet limped toward the system's edge, Lucas opened Earth's long-range array. He would speak to the galaxy.
Let this message cross every frequency. Any species that lands on a Terran homeworld without biometric certification will be destroyed by the planet itself.
The unencrypted signal shot through the void at light speed. First to hear it was the Vorthan fleet, already carrying its proof. On the bridge, the words echoed. Donald closed his eyes. The warning was his signature of failure. Light years away, alien listening posts captured the transmission. War councils paused. A holographic map of the galaxy flickered. A new red mark appeared near Earth's star, priority warning. In a distant council chamber, an alien diplomat read the transcript, then looked toward his military advisor. No order was given, but every general present understood. Earth was no longer a target. It had become a celestial predator, a fortress without walls. The quiet reclamation had spoken. The Vorthan fleet continued its retreat, carrying the warning in its bones. The galaxy listened and remembered. The final credit transfer completed. 4.8 trillion credits exact. A formal receipt arrived from Earth, signed by President Lucas. Donald stared at the receipt for a long time. Then he opened a channel to Vorthan Prime.
Emperor, the invasion has failed. Total surrender was accepted. Bill, 4.8 trillion credits.
Silence from the Emperor. Then a single word. Report.
He had no report worthy of the dead. He sent the data packet instead.
The packet contained the quiet reclamation history, the bill, and his personal resignation offer.
I accept full responsibility. I resign my command effective immediately.
The Imperium's economy would stagger under decades of austerity. The Vorthan people would remember.
He closed the channel. His career was over. His legacy was a graveyard on a blue world.
The fleet limped out of Sol. Behind them, Earth's storm pulsed like a slow heartbeat. Within days, the galactic news networks erupted. Analysts deconstructed Earth's kill system with horrified precision. They mapped the biological cascade, microbes that targeted alien proteins, gravity fluctuations that caused neural collapse, EM fields that amplified vertigo. One commentator called it the most elegant defensive architecture ever discovered. Another simply labeled it planetary predation. Neighboring empires issued public declarations. Earth was a red zone. Any unsanctioned landing would be treated as suicide. The Vorthan disaster became a cautionary tale encoded into every military academy's curriculum. President Lucas watched the reports in his office. Earth's storm flickered behind him like a silent verdict.
He opened a channel to the Terran Republic. A short statement, not for glory, but for the record. We waited 800 years. We tuned every microbe, every tremor, every breath of this world. It worked.
The statement was not broadcast widely, but it didn't need to be. The planet had already spoken for itself. No species would invade a human homeworld again. The lesson was not learned, it was etched into galactic instinct. The last Vorthan rearguard broke orbit. Donald's flagship drifted alone at the edge of the system. In his quarters, Donald stood before the viewport. Earth's storm glowed like a wound that would never close.
40 million soldiers, 16 million left behind. The price was paid, but the debt was carved into his bones. Thrin had told him the truth would destroy him. He hadn't believed her. Now the truth was all that remained.
He thought of the families receiving casualty lists, the decades of economic ruin, the legacy of a graveyard world.
They had not invaded Earth. They had fed it, and the galaxy now knew the taste.
He turned from the viewport. The room felt smaller, the shadows deeper. The flagship's engines engaged, pushing slowly into the void. Earth's blue edges receded.
He had been a supreme commander. Now he was a cautionary tale.
He did not look back. The storm continued, indifferent, eternal. 1,000 years. The file on Earth remained classified top priority, accessed only by those who thought distance made them safe. A young diplomat opened the Terran dossier. The first line was still read, unchanged by centuries. Never land an army on a human world. The planet will kill them before they fire a shot. Below it, biospheric kill system analysis, 800-year project timeline, 4.8 trillion credit invoice. The diplomat read the casualty figures. 16 million left behind, 40 million ruined. He thought of his own world's expansionists, the generals who spoke of easy conquests. He shivered, then closed the file with a trembling hand. The warning was not text, it was a scar. Across the galaxy, the lesson held. No species had tested it since. Earth remained. Its geometric storm a quiet lace in the upper atmosphere, silent, patient. The planet that was a weapon waited. Its next lesson, already prepared, fade to black. The Sol system was silent. No warships gathered, no threats approached. The emptiness was deliberate. Earth's geometric storm had softened to a faint lace of blue lightning, high in the atmosphere. Below, the continents turned, carrying the memory of 16 million who had learned what the planet was. No grave markers, no monuments, just the soil that had digested them, now richer for the feeding. The quiet reclamation required no maintenance. It was self-sustaining, eternal. Across the galaxy, the lesson held. Empires rose and fell. None looked towards Sol. 1,000 years of peace, bought not with threats, but with a single, unforgettable demonstration. Earth waited, patient as a predator, its next lesson already built into every breeze. Silence. The void held nothing but starlight and the memory of what happened here. Fade to black.